Dire team pick. Dire team ban.
Команда Empire, никаких стендинов, но Meteor Makers, Creed, Ace, Exist, Mini и Unicorn. Вроде бы тоже все равно.
Definitely a nice compliment to that. He can solo push, he can group up and push. He's actually a very good melee fighter. He puts out a lot of damage, and I think already this looks to me like MYM are gonna have a hard time. They're gonna have to execute perfectly against this team already to really get some pickoffs and stop them from pushing.
Radiant team
man,
ban.
yeah, and you were talking about Lycan, just going on that, man. The other big stat that popped out to me, Silence Lycan is 8-0. Undefeated Lycan in the game right now. He has definitely been one of the pioneers to the new Lycan meta and everything being set up, but man, this is a problem. I'm already seeing that Meteor Makers didn't clearly do their proper research on Team Empire. They're allowing him to get these easy free pickups.
They have banned out the Ember Spirit, who I think Resolution has been picking up quite a bit, and that hero is really scary. You do have to draft your team around it, really figure out a way to deal with it. Some teams really aren't comfortable doing so, but they do still have a big roadblock in their way with the Lycan. I mean, they do have some good opportunities for pickoff. They've got the Bat Rider, they have the Ancient Apparition. Putting those together, obviously, set up some pretty easy ultimates for that AA, so I'm sure we're going to see those connect fairly easily, but, I mean, it's really hard. How do you nail down a Lycan? He's got his ultimate. You have to kill him in the lasso, otherwise he's probably going to be getting away. I mean, you do have Flame Rig, maybe to catch him back a little bit, but I think they're going to have a hard time. They will hopefully have a couple good supports so that they can pick off. Dazzle, obviously, by himself, not too strong. Does have the Grave, however, to live a little bit longer, so we'll see. I think MYM's going to have to be pretty spot on their execution to really make this draft work for them. They followed up with the Invoker, who I actually do like in this lineup. I think it works well.
Yeah, they've already picked up some nice, solid, you know, playmakers in Ancient Apparition and Bat Rider, ones who can get the fight going, or get the party started, rather. Bat Rider being able to lock someone down, but the problem is Lycan's so damn quick, plus you're going to be dealing with a Shallow Grave. He's going to be really hard to take down, so Meteor Makers are going to be sweating trying to get some of these kills. Invoker picked up third, like you said, big fan. Probably a Quast Wex, want to have a little more crowd control. The EMP will help nerf down the Lycan and the Dazzle a bit, so definitely effective there. Exist hasn't been playing too much Invoker lately, so I'm really curious to see what he's going to bring forward with that.
The Invoker has been pretty popular. I mean, there's a couple teams who are still holding on to the X-Sword. I have to say, I've casted a bunch of the Korean Dota games over the last few days, and they still dig their X-Sword Invoker over there. They're using it for pickoffs, not favoring the Wex quite yet, but we'll see what we do see this game. I mean, I have to imagine the Wex Invoker does bring them a lot of team fight potential, really lets them break up the split push. The problem, really, if you go X-Sword and you're not snowballing pretty hard on Invoker against a push lineup, you just don't do anything. I mean, you have Meteor, which is okay, but Sunstrike does nothing against a push lineup. I mean, you might be able to get a couple pickoffs with the Bat Rider with it, but I think the Wex Invoker will probably serve them a bit better.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. As I'm like eyeballing this draft, I can't help but chuckling myself after like looking up all this information. You can clearly tell Empire have done their research well over Meteor Makers. The Mirana band seems kind of, you know, odd for the lineup that they're going with. You know, they do have a little bit of lockdown to secure some arrows. They grab the Bane for themselves anyways, but they must have clearly saw. I mean, Ace is an 8-1 Mirana. You know, he's really great with the hero, and but they just get rid of it out. They clearly know what they're going to be dealing with here, and it just goes to show this is why this team keeps on winning. They do their research before they come to these games, and they put on a solid performance. Bane looks great. You know, they're getting him ahead of time, a nice secure support who'll be able to lock down any sort of relative hard carry. It's going to make Meteor Makers think twice. They're going to want something elusive. My wager would be maybe the Weaver, but we'll see how it works out for him.
Yeah, it seems like a good, I mean, we see Weaver, Ancient Apparition all the time. Chilling Touch goes really well with him. It gives him a lot of extra damage in lane, maybe be able to kill some supports. I do like this Bane pickup here. It does give you some options to counter-initiate the Bat Rider a little bit if he does jump in on you. But they pick the Morphling for themselves, still an elusive carry with obviously that Replicant with Waveform and obviously the Strength Morph to keep him alive in some sticky situations. Another hero that I have to say has returned to popularity after that reverse of the nerf. Now able to cast spells in the Waveform, which definitely has given him, you know, a little bit of a boost. He's back. So Storm Spirit, the fourth pick here for Team Empire before we head into the last ban phase.
Yeah, a lot of people are digging the Morphling. Some people still has a pretty severe stigma against him. You know, Morphling, you know, he still, regardless of changes that have come of recent, he still takes 2 items before he's like at his full potential. So a lot of people always are, you know, iffy about that because you're going against a lot of teams who could be very aggressive and severely nerf down your early to mid game, you know, not allowing you to get up to that point. So I like how Empire responds back by grabbing the Storm Spirit, which is a playmaker, and can really take advantage of that mid game. If he goes on the hunt and tries to take down Morphling, he'll never be able to get those items and get rolling. So really nice, solid pickup. Resolution's #1 grab, Greg. Storm Spirit, 18 and 6.
Storm Spirit, very mobile hero, and to be honest, Meteor Makers don't have a great answer to this. A lot of the times, we'll see the Storm Spirit banned out during that second phase, just because teams don't really want to dedicate the lockdown to dealing with him. I mean, if you're never going to hit Storm Spirit with a lasso, he's just going to make it impossible for you, unless he does get EMP'd. But they instead have banned out the Death Prophet, which I actually really like, because imagine a Death Prophet in the middle on this team. That's some very insane push. Once level 10 or 11 comes around, there'd probably be nothing Meat Makers can do, because then there's 2 cores that they absolutely have to kill in order to stop their buildings from dying. So I like that ban anyway. And they banned out the Nature's Prophet for their last ban, very popular ban with the Lycan now back in the pool. Howl on Treants is pretty absurd, gives them a lot of extra damage, and not something you really want to have to deal with. Empire have banned out the Earthshaker. This is a smart ban, obviously, because Lycan just creates mobs. I mean, he'll have a lot of creeps with him, he'll have the wolves, he'll definitely be picking up a book. A lot of the times you see the accompanying heroes pick up necro books with Lycan on their team as well, just to help with that. So Earthshaker definitely does put a little bit of a snuff on that plan, so he's going to get the boot here for Team Empire. And Mag is actually DC'd, so I'm not sure they're going to get a last pick here. We'll see. Might have to remake the last pick.
I hope they do, because I think they still need to get Mag's hero. I think he's the 5th and final pickup. They're looking for a potential, you know, nice offlaner. I am digging Meteor Maker's kind of corny little back pocket strat they have, the global, if you will, the global Ancient Old, and then the Invoker Sunstrike, and try to catch someone out, and Batrider could be nearby and make it work. But I'm just kind of looking at everything that can work in the backdrop. Lycan, you know, as you said, with the help of those wolves, if you manage to spot them at the appropriate time, Batrider could have a struggle even trying to click the hero with them spawned right there. So it'll test his skills a bit, and that's something interesting for Meteor Makers to pick Batrider in response to that. I believe they picked that second to Lycan, but yep, they did. So that's kind of interesting. It will test them a bit. Sand King.
Oh, actually, no, they didn't. Dazzle was the first pick.
Dazzle was the first pick? Okay, yeah.
So they picked them
you know, Myvan also worked out in Team Emperor's Fire to grab it the Lycan in the first place for Silent. And Sand King, yeah, 5th and final pickup here for Meteor Makers, which is, you know, something new to them, but clearly from their performance, I think they're just trying to find their groove. They're trying to find what arsenal heroes maybe they can work with still. So I like Sand King, though. I'm a big fan. He can get shit done. So big fan of that.
Yeah, I mean, their strategy for this is going to be they're going to try to use 4 heroes to just hold off this push. They've got a lot of teamfight ults. They have the Invoker as well. They're going to try to get a pick off with Batrider to start the fight and just try to make room for this Morphling to farm. And then at the last second, obviously, he can come back in. He's got the Replicant, a really nice 4+1 farmer.
10 seconds
we'll see.
remaining.
Mag is DC'd, and Clockwork is going to be their last pick.
They called out. I was actually going to wager that they were going to grab the Clock Magwork because the Magwork. Nice. Sorry, slip of the tongue. That worked out perfectly. 13 and 15 on that Clockwork. So, Greg, you're talking about like 4 of Empire's lineup grabbing their #1 go-tos. Draft-wise, Empire got this, and Meteor Makers clearly didn't look up what Empire has to offer. So, like you said, he DC'd though. We need to go ahead. It's not going to be Lich. It is going to be Clockwork. We're going to probably get things set and jump into a new game and go all pick.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Jesus, that fucking dog.
Storm spirit is alive.
Sand King. Ancient apparition.
Lycan.
Clockwork.
Welcome back to StarLadder, the European. We're back with Empire versus Meet Your Makers Dota 2. I'm What Is Hip, and with me is Coddle Guy, and we are back with an AP lobby. Everyone's here. Mag returns. He had some problems with his internet.
Yeah, glad to have him back. A little nervous there for a moment. We were contemplating a postponement, a stand-in, but Mag managed to get it online, and he's back at it. And it was Clockwork, his final pick. They did random a Lich, but it is going to be Clockwork, and we're going to get underway. And Greg, I'm excited about this one. And just so you know, the last time Empire and MYM met, the 2nd of this month, March 2nd, in the JDL, and obviously Empire did win. And yeah.
Because, you know, Empire doesn't really like losing. But let's go over the teams. Mag gonna be on the Clockwork. Resolution on the Storm Spirit. Thanks, Core. Gonna be picking up the Dazzle. Leading behind him is Always Wanna Fly on the Bane, and all the way in the top lane is Silent on that Lycan.
And on your Meet Your Maker squad in the bottom lane, we got a nice little conga line happening here. We have Ace on the Bat Rider, Exist on your Invoker. We also have Crit, the Captain, on the Ancient Apparition. Right behind him, we got, oh, it says UNC.
Unicorn.
Yeah, Unicorn. Nice abbreviation there, champ. And top lane, we got Mini on the off-lane Sand King, it looks like.
Well, let's see if they are going to clash here. Their teams are very close together. Empire on a warding journey. Going to put down those wards early, and looks like both teams able to get their wards down. Ooh, needs to be very careful. Crit playing with fire here. If he gets nightmared, it could be very bad.
Those pings.
Yeah, there's been a lot of pings in this already. Ace using Firefly to knock down a set of trees over here, and we'll see how these lanes form up. Looks like it's going to be a dual lane for now. I think this Bat Rider might just be jungling for the moment. We'll find out.
Tense fight here for the first rune. It is going to be Invis on the bottom, and quickly denied from the rooftops by Ancient Apparition. Really nice. So they're taking this one seriously. They don't want to hand it away. I do favor Empire based on their draft and all of their players getting some of their platinum pickups, but we'll see how it works out. Obviously, the Clockwork off lane on the Dire side is top tier in itself. Ancient Apparition will be babysitting, and it'll be coming down to this Morphling getting, you know, his free farm and his time to get those items.
Yeah, and it looks like we've settled into pseudo tri-lane. I imagine there's going to be a lot of pulling, a lot of roaming from these two supports. Morphling not going to need too much attention in lane. It's going to be Bat Rider up here versus a tri-lane of Empire. And I'm a little scared for him, to be honest. I mean, there's not a ton of lockdown, just the Bane, but there is a lot of damage from the Dazzle, as well as if he wants to send the Wolves up there to do some harassment as well. So this is going to be a pretty tough lane, I think, for Ace. He's going to have to get a little bit lucky in these early levels. It looks like he's going to get level 2 without a problem. I think it's going to come a little bit after that. Once the supports on Empire have a couple of levels, he's going to have a much harder time.
Yeah, I mean, I like Bat Rider in off lane. It seems to work, but I think it works better on the Dire side when you can kind of make work of that side jungle and fly up and down the cliff and get away. He can kind of make that happen here, you know, making action over here, taking hold of the creeps, but he's going to need a little more time to work with. He's got level 2 now, so he might even consider it. We'll see if that's the case. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, Storm Spirit's putting stomping. 8-3 and going against Invokers 2-1.
Resolution is doing his thing that does best on this Storm Spirit, and he is just farming extremely well, getting the most out of this lane for sure. And he does go that new school build where you max out the overload and then grab 1 level in Vortex, and I do like this quite a bit. In lane, it makes you very, very strong. Your harassment's a lot stronger. In ganks, you need a little bit more help with CC, but they do have the Bane to assist with that, as well as the Clockwork. So I think this build will work nicely for him.
Yeah, Greg, you're a man who knows Storm Spirit all too well, and carried me many a time. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ancient Apparition laying out some harassment on Mag, trying to keep him back, but you cannot hold him. He's only at 1 CS, so that's pretty much expected in this kind of lane setup, but if he gets any CS, he's going to be doing great, and obviously his main priority is not to feed over any reckless kills.
He's getting experience. I mean, this is all you can really ask for at this point. I mean, on the other side, Ace has retreated. He has decided that that lane's just not worth the danger. And to be honest, I don't really blame him. But early aggression coming out from Exist, pops the EMP, drains Resolution almost entirely of all of his mana, so that is one problem with going up against the Quaswex Invoker as a Storm Spirit. In the later levels, once you have Ball Lightning and some mana to spare, it's a lot easier to just avoid those, but in this laning phase, it is going to be a bit annoying. You might have to resort to a lot of bottle crowing. He should be able to steal the runes pretty well, and we'll see how this continues. It doesn't seem to be bothering him as he just continues to CS.
Yeah, I'm always a big fan of these off-lane pickups where if it doesn't seem to work out too well in your lane, you kind of can just take your business to the jungle, like a Bat Rider, like a Nature's Prophet. You know, you'll have something to fall back on. So he goes ahead, sets up some stacks potentially for himself, and now he's going to make his way back to the top. You don't want to make things too easy, though. Like is one of those heroes, when he gets the CS, he'll just end the game sooner than later. Typically known for Rat Dota, but he can make pushes happen very, very quickly.
Oh yeah, I mean, just the raw damage you get, all the mob of creeps that we were talking about during the draft, which seems so long ago, but it's incredibly dangerous. I mean, he can solo kill towers extremely quickly with that HAL damage as well. So looks like a rotation on Resolution. They're going to try to take him down before he hits that level 6. Cold Snap goes out. Sand King, he is very far away, and the range on this stun at level 1 is almost nothing. So it's almost down to Exist. Mini continuing to run through here. Is he going to get it? Sal comes off, he gets it, and that's the first blood on Resolution. He falls. Rotation coming over, and Invoker gonna get killed by the tower, but Clockwork, Nag has come over. He's here to deal with Mini. Battery Assault does not hit invisible units, so unfortunately, he's not gonna be able to knock him out of that Sandstorm, but it doesn't last forever. We'll see. Are they gonna stick around for this?
They don't have mana, though.
Oh,
they don't have mana, but they find him right there.
Nightmare goes
nice Sentry
down.
popped up. They could see him. They're going to have the sleep set up. He's going to try to deny Saturation right now.
Nope. Good attempt, but Mini's still going to get punished for that gank, and I mean, that did not really work out how they wanted. 2 kills for Empire just to get the Sand King in the end, so...
I think what necessarily happened was Resolution felt like he was going to get away fine, so Vance Core didn't feel the need to rotate in too early, but then it was just too little too late to try to help him out. And finally, but they were able to redeem him and get that kill. They had to work a little harder than they liked, so they committed a lot of people over in a lot of time, you know, giving that Morphling a little extra space in all the meanwhile, so yeah, we'll see. And by the way, I didn't even know that Battery Assault doesn't hit in this.
Oh god, Resolution now still does not have that Ball Lightning. Is he going to die again? Rotation coming in from the Dazzle. Can Vance Core save him with the Shallow Raven? No! E goes down. Mini gonna go down as well. Dazzle picking up another return kill. Great rotations from Vance Core. Unfortunately, Resolution now has died twice and still not level 6, but in the top lane, Silent, is he gonna go down? Ace gets a nice pick off. Is he gonna die for this? Doesn't look like it. Not enough mana for anything else.
And Resolution goes down again. MYM are really trying to take it to him. They know that they feel their Invoker are getting a little outclassed in the mid lane, but Empire, man, they're such a great team that if you're going to take down our Storm Spirit, we're going to make the rotation come over and make you pay for it. And both times, they get a nice little redemption there. Obviously, it kind of favors MYM a bit, and definitely the Invoker, but they're just such a good team. They just make it happen, even if you're, you know, feel like you're going to get the easy pickoff.
I have to say, I mean, this is definitely a problem for Resolution, but I think Storm Spirit can recover pretty well. If he gets like 1 successful gank, then, you know, he's pretty much regained a lot of that ground that he has lost. And I mean, they have had to commit a lot to these ganks. A lot of people have died trying to make it happen. Vance Core with some great rotations. He's 1-0 with 1 assist as well. And things are pretty even at this point. I mean, I think you're right. He's been bullied. He's died a couple times, but in the end, I do expect him to recover without much of a problem, unless this is a trend that continues. I mean, Exist has been really aggressive using his EMPs, and it's working out pretty well.
Yep. All meanwhile, that Morphling ricing away in the bottom. He is going to pick up the Midas recipe already in hand. I don't know if you already mentioned that or not. He's very, very close to the actual set of gloves, which he'll be very close and near to get, so his Midas is going to be going right away for him. And on the other hand, Lycan, he's looking going for that immediate or Vladimir's rather, and potentially an early Roshan.
Yeah, getting that Vlad's is nice. It gives you the options to rotate in the jungle. Things get really nasty in lane. Obviously, the Roshan, one of the big draws for that. We have been seeing Lycans pick up medallions quite a lot lately to help with the Roshan. Helps you with some early damage, even helps in the late game. Reducing armor is pretty much always good, so we'll see if he does decide to go that route as well. But man, this Morphling has just been left completely unchecked. 39 last hits at 5 minutes and 47 seconds. He's only missed a couple of creeps, and he's going to be picking up that Midas very soon, like you said.
The Midas will help him get there. It's, you know, it kind of will help him get those items online quicker. I generally would feel that Lycan can get online faster than a Morphling, and by the time Morphling will have that Linkens and then that secondary item to put out a little bit of damage, they'll probably have lost all the towers by then if this Lycan manages to get any sort of respectable farm.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the way it works, that Midas does slow down your first item just a bit, obviously, because you do have to spend the money, but it generally will accelerate out the second item a bit faster, which is when Morphling really does shine. So if you get free farm like this, it's pretty nice. And Mini, doing a really nice strategy with this Sand King. This is something a lot of players have been talking about. You just Sandstorm, and you can jungle extremely easily. You do have to get 2 levels in it, but now Mag has come back over. He drops off the Burrow Strike. Is Mag going to get frozen here? It does not look like it. He makes it out. Invoker rotating over, and now they're going to steal this stack, which is extremely annoying for Mini. He's worked very hard to make that happen, and now it's just not going to be there. Cogs go down, and he goes through Tornado as well. Wait for him, going to follow it up. Is Mag going to die for this? Down he goes. Is Resolution as well? No, he takes down Mini on the way out. He's even turning around. There are 3 heroes here, but he has a lot of mana. He has no fear. Trying to take down Unicorn. Ooh, double damage rune. Going to help with this, but it looks like he's not. He might even die. He's going to go to Cliff. Is it going to be enough? Ooh, very nice movement from Resolution. He makes it out.
Yeah, Resolution's got great game sense. If he could get the Morphling down, it would have been well worth it, but he couldn't quite do it. You know, bit off with the mana management, but he managed to bottle up and make his escape and get out of there.
Yep, and that's the important thing. He didn't die. A little unfortunate they didn't get that kill and they lost Mag, but stealing that stack is a pretty big deal for Mini. So we'll see. They're pushing in the top lane. Ace is here. I'm not sure there's anything he can do about this by himself. Mini rotating over as well. Pops down with that Burrow Strike, and now the Sandstorm followed up. Nightmare is going to go off an Ace. He's not going to be able to move any further, and Invoker coming in now.
Rico, like on the run to retreat. They ended up taking down the tower with the help of the wolves, which is all they wanted. But now they're turning back right now. They're thinking of making a move from the backside. They want to get Fly, quick sleep to stop Flame Break. They do get him. Very nice. They're on the pullback. Will they run to the Lycan? Nope. He will step out. So nice little pick off in exchange for the tower by MYM.
Yeah, I mean, these tier 1 towers are going to die. Like, it's a fact of life, and there's not really anything you can do about it against the Lycan. He'll just find a way to either send the wolves over there or something like that. And getting that kill does definitely soften the blow at least a little bit. So we'll see. Can MYM hold this together? Can they stop these pushes? I imagine all these tier 1s are pretty much just going to die. I don't think too much they can do about it versus the Lycan. The tier 2s, I think, are probably where we're going to really see them get their stand. They need Crit to get his ultimate up. They need Mini to get his ultimate up, and they need probably a Blink Dagger on Blink. Oh god! In the mid lane, Crit is going to go down to Resolution. Now Mini, Burrow Strike as well. He drops off the Sandstorm again, and now Ace chasing down Resolution, who does have some ball lightning available. There it goes. He does still have a little bit of mana bottling up. Sticky Napalm coming out. Flame Break as well. Gonna push him back, and now Mag, he tries to come into assist, but no. Lasso going through. Burrow Strike goes off. Mini gonna die to the fire, as well as the Clockwork, and now Resolution gets the pull off of Ace. Invoker, Tornado comes through. Resolution's very low. He's going to go down, dominating for Exist. Now, Vance are on the run. Can he make it out of here? He does still have Brave. Cogs go off. He's going to try to block the path, and it looks like he might, but no. Now, the Morphling has joined the fray, and everyone is rotating over to this fight. Unicorn probably going to be able to take down Mag here. Battery Assault going off, and I hear a TP for Dazzle. He makes it out, and Morphling predictably does finish off that Clockwork.
Wow, big come on top there for MYM, and you were right. That's a fight that both teams felt were so important they wanted to get everyone involved, so they made a lot of rotations over. Mag, during the earlier process, managed to level up to level 6 in the bottom lane. As soon as he got it, he booked it for the mid lane, pulled out the hookshot to try to save his Storm Spirit comrade, but it didn't work.
Bottom lane, trying to take down UNC. He did get the Strength more buff, but I think he has almost run out. He's out of mana, can't go any further. Exists, gonna try to make it happen. No, he gets stuck, Cold Snap, and that is the definition of overextending. Exists, just punishing Resolution. And man, what we expected to be a very, very nice game for Resolution has sort of fallen a bit out of control. He's out a bunch, and now Mag moves in on Crit. He's trying to get a pick off the Cold Piece there. It's gonna last, but is the Battery Assault gonna be enough? Yes, it is, but now he has to deal with the likes of Unicorn and Exist, and he doesn't have any more mana to work with. He does have a couple of bottle charges. Can he make it out? There's the Cold Snap. They don't have Waveform, not quite enough mana, and it looks like he might go down. Just a couple more right clicks. No, he sticks. He's gonna make it out. Nightmare, and I believe they're gonna exit. I don't think they want to take off any more of this. He's out of here.
Mag, extremely thankful right now for always want to fly. Thank you so much, my friend, for saving me right there. Does manage to get away. Man, you know what it is, I think, is just, I wasn't really expecting this either. His Invoker is really, really good. He hasn't had the opportunity to play it too much lately because a lot of teams just straight out get rid of Invoker. That would be my assumption, and maybe Empire wasn't expecting it also, but he's doing some serious work.
Ace is looking for an Aegis seal here, and he's just a little bit off on the timing, and Silent is going to be finishing that up. And he is doing just fine for Empire, only 1 death for him and a lot of CS. Now he's going to run into Ace. Gets stomped by the Centaur. Is this going to be the most unfortunate? No, Resolution going to take this as an opportunity to go in double damage in the bottle. Takes down Ace without a problem. Continuing on crit. Now he pops a double damage, and that's another pick off for Empire. Resolution uses this Storm Spirit very early, a lot more aggressively than a lot of players, and it's working out pretty well. He has been punished a few times, but they're able to get the key pickoffs to pick and then push.
He needs to be aggressive in the mid game, especially when trying to get that Morphling down, as we talked about early in the draft. Until that Batrider gets all of his tools, the Blink, the Force Staff, the Kings of Initiation right now belong to both the Storm Spirit and the Clockwork, both on Empire's side. So Initiation heavily in their favor as they look to make a push on the bottom tower.
Yeah, and we saw that Batrider was pretty close to the Blink Dagger in there. Gonna put him quite a bit off of it. Now he's another 800 from Mini. He's charging, the Epicenter goes in, Burrow Strike, Resolution, gonna get graved, has no mana left, gotta predict he's gonna die here. Exists, Tornado going through, there's a Lasso, gonna secure it. Now Unicorn with a good defense as well, taking out the Advance Core on the run. Is he gonna make it out? Mag trying to sacrifice himself, I think, and is he gonna make it out? I don't think he can make it out of here. He looks like he might die, but Silent here as well. Waveform gonna come through, he goes down, and that's a double kill for Unicorn. Now Silent on the run, no ultimate is available, and I'm not sure he's gonna be able to make it out of this one.
Bottom tower is under attack.
No, he won't. He's getting stacked up to death right now. Black as night. Yeah,
is he gonna die?
He's got Aegis, but they're gonna need. Yeah, I don't think anyone's relatively close.
Wow, what an EMP from Exists. Just making sure that even if that was off cooldown, he would not be able to ulti away. And I have to say, MYM impressing me right now. A couple, Mini has died a few times, maybe a bit unnecessarily, but they've done a decent job of trying to shut down a couple of these heroes, taking advantage of the little bit of over-aggression from Empire and Morphling now, sitting at the top of the net worth chart.
A lot of viewers out there who tried to pick up the easy favorite in this matchup, sweating a little bit about their rares and keys.
I looked, the rare spread was ridiculous. You bet like 1 rare on MYM, you get like 5. So I'm sure the value bettors are just dripping at the mouth. They just want a win here for MYM, and they're doing pretty well. We'll see. The biggest test is going to be once this Necro book comes online for Silent. Are they going to be able to withstand the push? They haven't taken down any more tier 1s, so MYM has done a decent job of slowing them down. The Ancient Apparition ulti's online. We saw the Epicenter in the last fight. Definitely made a big difference. Exists, working towards an Orchid. He's pretty close as well, and that's going to give them a lot of game in these fights against Silent from escaping, against the Storm Spirit from doing Storm Spirit things, zapping around. And we'll see. It looks like they're assembling the tools to deal with this push.
I do want to make a side note on that last fight that MYM took. Ancient Apparition was not even level 6 for that. He finally reaches level 6 right now, and that's his best weapon. That's his bread and butter.
Oh yeah,
the Ice
absolutely.
Blast. It's going to be hard to land though on the Lycan and the likes of this elusive team, even with the Storm Spirit.
Well, we'll see if he's able to get it. Wow, Resolution wants his rune. Ball Lightning's down. Actually, get the double rune. And that's pretty convenient. That's going to fill up his HP and mana. And Exist has returned to the mid lane. I think he just wants to finish this Orchid as quickly as possible. Batrider in the jungle, trying to finish the Blink. It actually is finished now, so things are coming together for MYM. And, you know, they dealt with the early pressure, and we'll see if they can pull it out in this mid game. Smoked up.
Yeah, Empire could potentially have to fall back on some serious Rat Dota to pull this one out, but Morphling's no stranger to that either, so I'm curious how it's going to work out. Long rotation to the top lane, though.
Looks available here for Always Want to Fly. Are they going to be able to take down Unicorn? We'll see. Does he get the stat change off? He does see them now. And no, he does not get it off. He's trying to get it through. And is it going to be enough? He's going through the Fiend's Grip. Now the EMP sails in. Epicenter charging a beautiful Nightmare to stop that. And unfortunately, Always Want to Fly is going to die. Hey, ulti going to come through just on 1. Resolution has still got that haste rune. And is that the end of the aggression? Unicorn going to be able to
create space for that. Creating space for that Lycan. He wants that tier 1 in the mid lane, and he might get denied it here. Pushing hardcore, pulls out the ultimate, gets Cold Feet, can he get away from it? Oh, the Cold Snap's holding him. No, it does trigger. It triggers. They're trying to get him down right away, trying to block him off. The Tornado, everything they can to hold him in place. He's making a retreat to the north, but that shapeshift is too good. Runs right away.
Meanwhile, in the top lane, Resolution has taken this moment to go aggressive on Unicorn. He is able to pick him up with Advance Core, but now Ace, he has come over. He pops off the lasso. air. Oh, Thorough Strike gonna miss, but the AA ulti is here, so now they don't have to do too much more damage to get the kill. Pouring Brave, you're gonna pull him back. Grave goes off. Is he gonna live? I think he's gonna shatter in the fountain as soon as this Grave. Nope. AA ulti runs out.
Wow.
What a beautiful Grave by Vanscore. Holy crap.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Cock block, not gonna say anything different, just denying him from getting the easy pickup. The Shallow Grave TP is so good. Sometimes even the noob myself, when I play Dazzle, will spaz it out and manage to get away. I surprise myself sometimes. Just such a valuable tactic.
Well, Silent continuing to farm up here. He is going for that book. Predictably has picked up that medallion as well to assist with Roshan, to assist with the right-click damage. I really like this build. It's pretty much the de facto build for Lycan. There really only seems to be one. And, you know, it works, so why change it?
Yep. Mag's got the robe. I'm thinking maybe potentially a Force Staff for himself. That's just my early assumption guess, but he doesn't have a lot of items to work with. He got that bottle, and, you know, he just needs a little more meat on the bones if he's going to be the one to initiate these fights, so we'll see if it works out. I also want to touch base currently with the Bat Rider. Managing that blink, pushing forward into the Force Staff. I want to see him now make something happen. The bottom tower was taken down. I thought it was still up, but they were looking to push into the jungle and catch out some Empire.
He kind of just like knocked that one down. The creeps were there. Mag was there. He assisted a little bit, but it was mostly just the creeps taking it down, and they weren't able to rotate over. There's too much rushing going on in other parts of the map, and it looks like Unicorn are going to be going for that Lincoln's first, as expected. After that, he's going to have to decide between something like a shotgun, something like a Mantis style. There's a couple different options, but obviously the Ethereal Blade, what he's known for, and he's some pretty juicy targets on the other side in these two supports.
Yes, support's always a fabulous target for a Morphling with a shotgun. I personally haven't seen, though, the effects of it going against the Lycan. I would think that Lycan should be meaty enough to withstand any sort of heavy punishment from him. It's going to come down to how much they can lock him down. We saw a bit of it in the mid-game. Now imagine later on when they pick up the sheep sticks and everything. They might be able to lock this man down, or it could come down to Empire wants to try to create more space for him and let him try to pick off the towers on the side. We'll see what their game plan will be.
I gotta imagine against this lineup, he's going to be picking up a BKB sooner rather than later. I mean, when you look, obviously the lasso does go through that, but still, you're dealing with the Sand King, you're dealing with things like Shotgun, you're dealing with an Invoker and an Ancient Apparition. So I do believe he'll probably be picking that up at some point, just to help him a little bit in the team fights. Because if they lasso him, usually it's actually really hard to kill him. You have to commit everything while he's lassoed, because if you don't kill him, he's just gone. He walks away.
Yep, and everyone coming to a bit of a lull. Bat Rider trying to farm it up. He will see these two, but oh, they get the range. Sleep above, but not enough to potentially grab out with the Fiend's Grip. Might have been a bit of an overstatement. Now they have to retreat. They're on the run. Back, blink in, Invoker. Everyone wants to see. He can get the Tornado here. It's a matter if they want to go. No, they see him. Jump back. They grab them. Pull out the Cogwall. They're going to separate it for now and just go back to a stalemate. But, oh, sorry, Invoker runs his way out, runs right across the Resolution without even knowing it. Just kind of a bit of a tussle here in the jungle, but nothing coming of it just yet.
Mag, I think he was aiming to hook someone else, but not able to do so, and now Ace. Wow, he goes down, punished on the cliff, not able to stay alive. Now they're looking for the tier 2. They're looking for crit. They're looking to nail down these supports. And look at how much damage he does with the medallion. Resolution comes in. Whoop, killed him.
Mini ends up falling as well. Gets caught out with the Fiend's Grip and taken right apart. Empire taking control once again. Shallow Grave to help out his ally in need. Tornado, though, comes, sweeps through. But he does sidestep and get away from that one. Wow. Empire, though, very classy.
You know, I see why Vangscore's Dazzle is 18-1. He timed it, so when even, like, it looked like Resolution was completely safe, the Orchid damage was waiting to come off, and the Shallow Grave was there for the duration to save him. And man, this Dazzle's already completely proven his worth, and this Shallow Grave has really just won them some little engagements. Resolution not dying there is pretty huge. He just finishes his Orchid as well. Man, looking like he's gonna go down.
They ripped them apart immediately. And they looked to get something on the way out, as they did have to sacrifice. Oh no, they didn't even sacrifice the tower. It just seemed like Empire got a couple pickoffs there and kind of overstayed their welcome. I feel like when they saw the A ult, they should have just made their quick retreat out of there. But I think they got a little overconfident there and heading over the free clockwork.
Yep. Book 3 is up for the Lycan, so what we're used to seeing is going to be occurring very soon. Earn on Always Want to Fly. This tells you that they do want to be aggressive, they do want to get kills. Exist poking his head in the rush, but he's really using Ghostwalk more than anyone I've seen. He's definitely adapted to these new changes that do give you all the speed. Look how speedy he is with Ghostwalk. Very nice. 455 move speed. And now they're going to converge on this tower, try to take a tier 1 of their own. But Silent is here. He's getting some right clicks out. Exist pops out the tornado. And are they actually going to be able to kill anyone here? He's on the way. They deny the tower. It looks like Silent has given up. His book 3 is delivered.
Yeah, the Invoker had plenty to work with there, still Tornado to shut him down, so it was an unworthy trade. I agree, Ghostwalk, that bonus move speed's pretty intense, and no one really uses it. I guess they're just stuck with that old stigma feeling of the molasses walk that it once was.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be you'd Ghostwalk, and then you just cross your fingers and hope to God they don't have detection, because if they do, they dust you while you're already Ghostwalking. You're just so slow and so sad, but now, the new one, he's using it really well.
I was just gonna say, I just imagine Invoker's like laying down on his belly and trying to roll away. That's like that's how fast he used to go. Just like, please, please, rolling away. But nope, he's got the speed now, he's got the shoes, and he makes it work, and man, Mini keeping eyes out on the high ground here.
I wonder what his next item is going to be. He has quite a bit of gold. He already has the Blink Dagger, so I'm honestly not sure what he's going to be picking up next. He could go the route of like an Ags or something, get a little bit of HP, get more damage in the ultimate. Veil is also extremely common on Sand King, a lot cheaper obviously, and gives you a lot of the same damage. With Resolution going deep on crit, pops the Orc and then decides, I might not actually just do a kill you, I'm out of mana.
Oh man, this is blown up in his face. The longest jump ever. Now he eats everything and gets an illusion in the meantime. He needs help. Sunstrike Grave! Oh my god! This Dazzle's unreal right now. Excellent save just in time. TP's out and gets away. Fan score, unreal.
This is unbelievable. I think he put the Grave on there again for the Orchid damage just to make sure he wouldn't die, but the Sunstrike 2, I mean, geez, fan score is just completely on point here. And now finally, Empire have decided to pick up their first Roshan.
Dire's top tower.
Fan score, king of the cock block there. So many kills by Shellgrave. Smoke coming out in the MYM. They know that something's happening here, and a quick pullback by Empire. Good game sense for them. They don't want to get caught out too easily.
Yeah, and with the Invoker, with the Ancient Apparition, with Ace being able to leap in there, this is not really something you want to screw with. You want to make sure that you can take this cleanly, and Mini is still up here. He's really committed to making sure that if they do try to go for this Roche fight, they'll be able to win it.
Yeah, and we're just going to see a bit of a footsie here. Everyone just kind of hovering around, like you said, Mini rather, he's hanging up from the balcony, just kind of looking below, like, hey, can I get the right opportunity for a good epicenter, huh? But he's wasting a lot of time. So he's got to find the right way to get out without being seen, without overcommitting.
Well, now they know. Oh my god. Well, that didn't work out.
Nice balcony seat.
Oh god. Well, now that clears him a bit of room to move in on this Roshan. Ancient Apparition was just spent his ultimate as well, so I think this is going to be a free Roshan for Silent.
Yep, and that's third.
It's actually their second Roshan, sorry.
Second Roshan. They make it easy. Smoke thrown out, they want to make a run for it. I don't think they had vision, and they're just going to try to take this tidal wave and surf it on home as they run down to the mid lane. They could potentially catch Morphling here. Big jump in!
God!
They are going there. This man commits like no one else. Crit gets hit. Oh, tries to desperately throw out the ult and will end up falling.
He just does not care how he spends his mana. He's like, I got an Aegis, whatever. I'll come back up. I'll have full mana.
It's like, what's important is I jump in and get the Vortex off. I'll have Desolate fall back on in case things get hairy, and hopefully I'll get the mana needed, but it's working.
Yeah, this is some ridiculous aggression out of Resolution, and now with that Aegis, with the Lycan Probe now at full power with the Necro 3, the pushing is here, and now Mini comes in. Unfortunately, that Epicenter not a big hope, but they grab Silent as well. A little bit of an early grave, I think, from Vanscore, not quite on point this time, and now he is hasty, he's backing up. Mag dives in, Invoker gonna go down. Mag trying to do as much as he can, Mini falling as well, and they get another one picking off the Batrider, and this is falling apart. But ALD is coming in, this might do enough, it takes down Lycan, Morphling. Pops the Adaptive Strike, takes him down. And I don't think anyone else is going to shatter here, but 3 for 1, they take down the Lycan, they lose a tower, not an ideal trade for MYM, and it's going to be a shotgun next for UNC Unicorn.
Yep, but like I said, by the time he gets everything online, they could be losing all the towers by this point. Empire really pushing forward now. Now they're taking advantage of these fights, which they once lost earlier. So we'll see if it's something that they'll just ride with until the end of the game, or if MYM might need to pull out like a back pocket strat or just get an initiation of their own. We need to see Batrider try to get in there. They're getting a little choked up here. Empire's really trying to take it to them. They're taking control of the map rather, so I want to see him take it back. I want to see Batrider get in there, get a good pick off, and try to get the ball rolling in their court.
Taking a quick look at the gold graph, it's nearing 7,500 advantage for Empire, and the XP graph a little bit less so. Seems like they're farming the map efficiently, but Resolution has gone in deep here. He keeps doing this, man. I'm not sure that this is okay. He does have the Aegis gonna come up here, and I think he should be able to make it out unless they get a perfect EMP. Look, she's lining up for. Are they gonna get it off? Yes, they do. Resolution, the stun as well, and they're gonna nail him down. Just give that Aegis for free.
Said they needed to get a pick off, and they got it there. Resolution handed himself over on a silver platter right in their own jungle, and they quickly get it done. If they couldn't get him quick enough, his teammates were there to help him out, including Dazzle with that shallow grave. So I'm glad that they got it, you know, really quickly. Otherwise, they would have had to work way too hard for it. And now they're kind of taking this momentum. They want to finally get this tier 1 in the bottom lane and make a push happen.
BKB recipe picked up for the Lycan, so he's going to be going for that BKB to keep him alive during these fights, because even if he does get lassos, the majority of the damage here is magic damage, so he should be able to stay alive.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Pushing right on in ahead of time. AA sitting in the backdrop waiting to get out a proper ice blast, but I don't think Empire even care. They're just going to willingly hand it over and push the other lanes in the meantime. And I think MYM are going to go for 2.
They will gladly just give away these tier 1s if it means they can pick off a tier 2. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it doesn't happen. And now Always Want to Fly comes in for the defense. Tornado goes through. Wave as well. And now, oh my god, the Epicenter doing a lot of damage. MYM takes down 3. And it looks like they're going to clean out the tower as well. Very nice execution right there.
Wow. Yeah, Empire wow, they're pick off. Big burrow strike catches on Resolution. He dies immediately again. And now it's a 4-man takedown, only leaving up the Lycan, who's not even in the neighborhood. They're going to push right in the base and go for a tier 3.
Resolution has died 7 times. We've seen him get picked off repeatedly, and now it looks like they might be paying for it. BKB finished up for the Lycan. Dazzle going to buy back. Is that enough to save their tier 3? I don't know. Firefly comes up here. Lycan, I don't think he can do anything about this. They pop off the weave.
Dire's bottom barracks are
That's going to reduce armor a bit, make it a little bit easier picking, and now he's going to try to come in, make this happen. Now Mini gets the stun off. Nice job. 1 falls. Vanscore falling as well, and now Exist is going to go down. It looks like Silent might have been able to connect him on enough heroes, picks off another, but now Unicorn trying to take down the Rax. No, he's not going to get it. Replicant back, great moving form. No, trying to be a hero, doesn't get it as well, and that Rax lives with 60 HP.
Oh, Average is like, I will be the hero and get the Rax. Gets taken right down immediately.
Man.
Solid defense by the hairs to save those Rax. I think MYM, they should have pieced after getting the tower, but they're like, oh my gosh, we could do this. We could pull off this upset. They're pushing in, but just short. But man, the window's open right now for MYM, and this could potentially be an upset. It's more even than I expected it to be.
I have to say, I mean, they went all in to try to get this melee Rax, which gives you a much further advantage, a much bigger advantage than if you get the range Rax. In terms of how the lane pushes, it'll keep Empire reduced their base. The downside, obviously, is that if you don't get it, that's the one that regens. So now, I mean, you can see it's already ticking back up, almost at a quarter HP, and they're very, very sad that they were not able to get that. I think it was down to around 40 HP, and, you know, a little bit of greed there, I think, is what I would call that, and they get punished for it by not being able to finish off that Rax.
They want to keep the momentum in their favor. They did falter there. They throw out the smoke. They want to gain, or to get the reins back. The reins back. Hi everyone. Good morning from America. I had my coffee, but clearly I didn't go to speech therapy. We're moving on through the jungle. They're going to try to catch someone off, but Empire's nowhere near.
Yeah, they have sniffed this one out. They have left the jungle, back on their own side of the map. And man, oh god, MYM must be so unhappy right now. They didn't get this Rax now at a 3rd HP. Oh, that's frustrating, because if you get the range Rax, maybe you can figure out a way to just get in there and take it down, just a couple right clicks. But now that by the time they get back over there, that's going to get to like half HP. It looks like they're forming up on the bottom lane to perhaps go and finish the job, and I think that actually will help them a lot. Just getting the natural lane momentum pushing towards Empire in that lane should give them a bit of advantage. Shotgun is finished on Unicorn. We'll see if he's able to make good use of that. This is pretty good farm for him, I have to say. I mean, he is topping the net worth charts by about 1,000 gold, and then Lycan right behind him. Then there's an extremely heavy drop-off down to the mid players.
Yep, and continuing on that gold has been relatively even. XP, almost about the same. A slight notch towards Empire, but like I was saying before, this is a little unexpected. Empire are heavy favorites in this one, and they even got a lot of their favorite pickups, and MYM are putting on a nice show here and taking it to them. Man, if they got those racks, though, it'd be so much more in their favor. They think about maybe going for a push bottom and being able to get it, but they don't see Empire anywhere else on the map except for the one mid, so they do pull back and just go back to their jungle. So just real unfortunate, but we'll see MYM if they can get some more opportunities to get back in this one.
Yeah, and I have to say, I mean, MYM as its current roster is pretty new. I mean, they played as Team Life for a little while, but that, you know, compared to Empire, who's been a similar-ish roster for quite a while, a little bit newer. But these players do have a lot of individual experience. I mean, Mini for a while was just known as the best Wisp, the best Chen, you know, on the level of Aki and Funnic Io and things like that. So these players do have a lot of individual skill, and it's definitely showing. I mean, Exist has really put on a show as well, and he's a new player that a lot of players, or a lot of people don't know too much about. Now, it looks like they want to try to kill Silent, but that is just not happening.
Yep, he pulls out the shapeshift. Doesn't feel necessary to pull out the BKB, which is good. I mean, I'm sure MYM would have loved to bait it out of BKB from him, but they're unable to do so. That shapeshift is so good, man. And we'll see. I mean, Silent, he's a pro Lycan, 8-0, undefeated. Let's remember, he knows how to pull it out in the end, so we'll see if it works.
Yeah, I mean, the problem here is, as we get to the later parts of the game, Lycan is good at killing buildings. Morphling is good at killing heroes, at least for the moment. I mean, once he picks up things like Butterfly and a Manta style, it does become a lot better for him, but Lycan, you know, he's got the mob on his side.
Radiant's bottom tower
We'll
is
see
under
if he
attack.
can clean up with that. Bottom lane, they're making a move. Doesn't quite get him with the burrow.
Range.
No,
I think he didn't click past him, and he got punished for that one, man. Just these little mistakes are costing MYM quite a bit, in my opinion.
I know, they get slapped in the face back in the racks, and now he stubs his toe trying to get a pick off. It's just blowing up in their face. They've got to get something, though. They want resolution. He's the one that's been handing over these free pickoffs, so he won't be a part of it, though. He moves up to the top lane to defend it against the Morphling, while the rest of Empire kind of lingering in.
Whoop, that Lincoln's saving his life for sure. Jesus, that's 4 TP. He's going to deny the tower. And they have completely averted that aggression, and now we'll see. Are MYM going to try to take this opportunity to push in bottom lane? We see a lot of rotations from Empire. They've pinged the defense of it, and we'll see. Do MYM want to try to capitalize on this opportunity? Exist is just on the hunt here for a new player as he builds through to that Hex.
I'm really curious how this Morphling and Lycanthrope will work down the road.
Oh, this is really important with the A. Oh, he does get a nice little force, and I don't think he is going to die. Nope, he is fine. Did get hit by that A ulti. Nice little force there. He knew that was on the way. He saw the Invoker, and he's like, I'm out of here. See you later.
Well, Dazzle was there. In case he even got hit, Shalgrave would have popped out. He should have been fine. We know Vanscore's been doing that pretty swell. What I've been saying before, though, was Lycan and Morphling, are they going to man fight as the game gets into late, or do you think Lycan's just going to rat it out and try to stay away from Morphling, as Morphling could potentially clean up the rest of Empire? He's getting some serious farm. I
don't think Lycan has any intentions of man fighting. I mean, he'd have to get extremely lucky. Now there's the Butterfly up for Unicorn as well. So I'm not sure man fighting is in the books, and I think he'd actually just rather avoid that, especially because the E-Blade just turns off his hero. And now Mini.
So I guess the question. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think they're actually going to engage here. Ooh.
Radiant's top tower
make a case for it. Nope, and Lycan gets the tower anyway. Go ahead.
What I was going to say, though, is, okay, so Lycan's not going to be the fights, which I was guessing as well. Now we have a 4 versus 5 when it comes to team fighting with Empire going against MYM. Do you think Morphling's going to be strong enough where he could still outclass the rest of Empire, the 4 of them? Or do you think Dazzle might potentially be able to keep them all alive and long enough for, you know, Lycan to get stuff done?
I mean, it's hard to say. It's going to come down to exactly how these fights happen. I mean, you have to remember there's now an Aghanims on this Clockwork, and that's definitely going to be a factor. He's pretty tanky as well. A good way to disrupt the fights, but there is a lot of teamfight damage for MYM. They've got the ulti from Sanking the Epicenter. They've got the AA Ice Blast. They have Ace to pick off a primary target, maybe someone like the Dazzle, who can definitely mess up those fights, or someone like the Mag, who's got the disruption as well. So it's going to be hard to say. Wow, Mag, that Invis rune, extremely nice, and they know he's there. That's so frustrating.
No detection. I'm looking all around. Not a dust on hand.
I think Bane bought one. I'm not sure who's actually holding it for Empire at this point.
Nope. And they're going to step back. Empire made the full rotation to the bottom, including the Lycan here. I don't know if this is going to be a long rotation all the way to clear out the last tower in the bottom lane, but we do have Mag scouting things out in the meantime. They don't see him, and they have their own sentry, so they know that they have the ground to do it. Make a quick jump in, though, on Mini. They're going to try to hold him out, but a nice burrow strike, and Resolution ends up going into the cogs, and we'll have to step back.
Resolution with this, I mean, he doesn't have a Bloodstone, so his regen is not nearly as much, not the Blitzdota approved build, and that definitely hurts you when you go for those really long zip-ins like that. I mean, it costs you so much mana, and he got not quite there. A nice little burrow strike does go through the cogs, and that allows Mini to escape.
Yep, it looks like silent.
POT's Veil, holy shit. Where does he's 1 and 8. How does he have these items? That's actually amazing.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man. That Sandstorm. Formula back to farm for him. No, Necrobook, they want the last tower. They're going to be able to get it here.
Oh yeah, this doesn't look like a problem. Morphling is going to be just pushing, trying maybe to get that tier 2 in the mid lane. Oh, Mag darting through, not able to latch that hook shot. And looks like Morphling wants to take a tier 2 of his own to punish this.
Invoker has DD. He's pelting away here. They need a few more, but they're jumping, coming by Resolution as he pulls him back with the Vortex, the Rocket, the Hook. They're going to try to lock him in place. Will he be able to get away? Blade Mail in desperation, but Shallow Grave, once again by Vanscore, saves him up. The tier 2 ends up falling, but they trade out the Invoker, so about an even exchange. Slight nod towards MYM to give Morphling that follow.
Goodbye, Crit. You've been found.
Crit trying to hide away.
You've been found, sir. He got nightmared out of a TP, and that did not work out for him. But seriously, Vanscore, these Graves have just been unbelievable. Like, that was another one that saved him from nearly certain death. This right-clicking from Morphling is now a serious issue with that Butterfly online, and he is just continuing to farm away, continuing to top that net worth, and these teams continuing to be pretty even now. 37 minutes, Gold Graph has returned to parity, XP Graph very nearly as so. The same, and now it looks like they want Cheese Roche, the third Roshan, and we'll see if it works out for them. Demon Edge has been picked up for Silent. He's decided it's time to right-click with the Bacter as well.
I just like touching more note on the Dazzle is just part of the reason I feel he's just such a great pickup. This man doesn't even have many items to work with. Arctic Boots is his most promising pickup, maybe the fight booster, but he makes such an impact in all of these fights, saving out these precious carries, these precious allies, using the weave, the minus armor. He could just be such a big factor without even having much to work with.
Yeah, and he definitely has been. I mean, this is just... When you say Dazzle is a strong support, you look at games like this when perfect use of his abilities come out, and it's ridiculous. And now I like this. Lycan has picked up an MKB, so it looks like now
top lane.
He's interested.
They're making a move on Always Want to Fly and jump in by Bat. They grab him up and shot him down right away. Unmerciful. Take him out in the backyard and just take him out.
And that is pretty much what happened there. I mean, Mini there as well. They get the lasso and a nice little pick off. Maybe that opens up some room for them to continue the aggression. But it looks like Lycan has now decided, well, I'm going to have to deal with this Morphling sooner rather than later. They go in on him in the bottom lane. Unicorn, can he actually make it out of here? He is still silenced. He wants to try to make it out. Still Morphing. Wait for him here. Now he goes through Resolution, continuing to dartboard, but no Vortex available. Do they have enough? Another hook shot from Mag. Is this going to be enough to take down Unicorn? He ethereals himself. He wants to try to stay alive for as long as possible. He needs his teammates to come in. Mini gonna try to come in and save him, but no, he's not able to do so. And now you have to think he's gonna die as well. And now the gem gonna reveal him out. Tornado sails through, and they lose their Morphling. This is really bad. He does have 3,000 gold, so he should be buying back if you try to threaten the racks.
Wow. They had to work for it, but it actually kind of worked out in their favor. They eventually did secure the kill, and by that time Sand King already tried to commit to helping him, and they managed to find him and take him out as well. So definitely favorable for Empire. Huge pick off on that Morphling. I don't know if he had much of a bounty though. Did he have a bit of a bounty? Let's see. Morphling? Nope, just a simple bounty, 317 gold. No, that's him.
No, he had
898 gold for Resolution. So there was a nice bounty there picked up for him. Now they're going to make a move on the bottom lane.
And he has invested that 898 gold into a completed sheep. So this is a really good item. This is really the key item to killing Morphling. Morphling killer. Definitely the Hex stopping that, the strength gain. And we'll see, is that going to be enough to kind of close the deal here? As Empire looks like they've regained their footing, regained their traction. Sometimes these push teams peter out, just run out of steam. And now Empire have found their second win. They're trying to break into the racks, take down their first one.
Won't move
forward. BKB for Ace. He doesn't want to be disrupted. Now Resolution is moved in. Mini with the epicenter as well. The Veil goes down. Another BKB for Silent. He's trying to make it out of here. No one has died yet somehow. Morphling has had to buy back. He's returned. And now finally, I think we might see our first death. Down goes Bane. Mag has hookshot it out of here. And it looks like MYM want to continue. Are they going to be able to get another kill? I think they're going to be able to take down Mag. Vanscore has died to the Ancient Apparition, and now Mag. That, oh man, Cold Snap and Morphling is brutal. Double kill for Exist.
Man, MYM defend the hill and throw them back. It looked a little promising right there because Lycan had his BKB popped and nothing was doing anything. So they're actually turning back right now and check out Exist. Wow, the game sense. They turn right back, pop the book. They see the Invoker coming in and take him out and take one for their own. So nice little put back there for Empire. They didn't get the tower though, so still, you know, a slight nod for MYM. But now Lycan gets to go right back to his farming. But what I was saying before was... No, go ahead.
That's not what they wanted. They wanted that Rax. Yep. They're not okay with that. They lost a lot of heroes there. I mean, Exist feeding one over in the end unfortunately runs by this ward, but they really, really want to get these Raxes.
Yep, that's what Lycan does best, but MYM doing a great job holding that hill. The BKBs really saved him in that fight. He still had a full 9 seconds for that last charge, and they were still throwing out the Ice Blast. They had the lasso on him, but even the epicenter wasn't really... Nothing was really doing too much to him, so he managed to make his way out. The same story is not for his teammates.
Yep, and I mean, MYM were very clearly the underdogs coming to this game, and you know, we said that a couple times, but they're just proving that, you know, regardless of what you think, regardless of what the rares say, they can make a fight for any game. And now they're smoked up. They want to continue the aggression. They're doing a really great job here of making sure that Empire can't comfortably form up and have a perfect little aggressive action. And even when they did, even when they had to force a buyback out of Unicorn, MYM able to defend this, and now Hex comes up for them on that Invoker.
But the power of the Titans has shifted. Lycan now, king of the net worth, MKB. He's going to look probably to go into Abyssal Blade. Gotta be careful.
There's the lasso. They're trying to pull down Mag, but there's just nothing else to follow up. On the other side of things, the Aegis has fallen. Hookshot comes through. Silent now. Oh god, he's wailing on crit. Nothing he can do about this. Resolution moves forward on Mini, pulls him back, pulls him out of the TP, and this is very bad for MYM. They can't defend with 4 heroes dead as Exist falls as well. There's no buyback on Unicorn. He's pushing out the lane. He is TPing out of here, obviously still alive, and we'll see, are there buybacks? No, there's not. That is not good.
Wow.
That's a Rax dead.
Considering that they did not have the buybacks, that was a terrible fight to take. I think they felt they had the jump on him, but Resolution had Aegis, so it was all for nothing. And they lose 4 in the end. The buyback coming out by Sand King, but look at this easy set of Rax. They clean up easily. They might even be able to rotate to the bottom and take another.
Yeah, I mean, now when you get into the base, it's just so much easier. The creeps push in. It's way easier to make it happen. And like, they're going for 3 Raxes right now.
Wow.
Lycan gonna go take one by himself. Nope, not able to. Possibility. And he's thinking about getting out of there. The A throws his Ice Blast down to the bottom lane. Gonna hit all of them, but they're knocking down that melee Rax. They're gonna easily finish that off. And man, MYM hasn't even had the opportunity to return to that Rax, and they're getting severely punished for not being able to kill that thing.
I love this tactic of spreading Lycan to the top, because now when they try to engage in the bottom, Eagles make a move on the tower. But they're going for him. Jump in lasso. BKB won't stop you from this, my friend. Now, Mini and company being able to lay out the damage. The Cold Feet should be able to lock him there, and they get him down. But bottom does fall, and Empire on their way out.
Yeah, they do take the Rax. Looks like they did re-engage. Resolution was trying to make an aggressive play there, but too many heroes showed up. Tornado gonna sail through here, and there's one. Vanscore has to brave himself. He's gonna try to make it out of here. No Cold Snap. He's gonna say no to that. Now the Orchid damage gonna finish him off, but oh wow, always want to fly stuck as well. MYM fighting back. They lost 2 Raxes.
But they have buybacks. They have buybacks in their favor. Now, if like MYM, let's say, we're like, okay, guys, we got to do it. Let's finally get those Rax. But now they have people pulling back. They have to try to save the Rax. The others are pushing forward. Lycan and Storm Spirit and Clockwork all have buybacks in case things get a little too hairy. So I think Empire definitely still sitting pretty. MYM, though, just that bad fight up in the top rune really shifted it back.
Vanscore just noticed that that wolf killed the last Rax. Took it down. Ace giving him a little smiley face as it dies right in front of him. But Empire now, this is what they are waiting for. This is the moment that they break through the base, and this is why Lycan is so popular, because he does scale pretty well. I mean, just so much physical damage. Now have returned to the bottom lane where they failed the first time to take the racks. Will they be able to make it happen this time? 9 seconds left until the Lycan is back up. I'm not sure they can do this. I mean, if they lose the fight right here, the game is just over.
Yeah.
Oh,
They gotta do something though. This might be an all or nothing. This might be an all or nothing for them.
It really is. I mean, I just don't know if there's a way for them back into this game if they can't make some measurable progress against these Rexes. Because now, I mean, you look at the base, everything is just pushing in, and they really need to figure out a way to make it so they don't have to constantly defend 2 lanes. Wolves getting scouted out with that sentry off that one.
Lycan needs to grab some bots, but now they're jumping in. They're jumping in. They want to grab it right now. Ace should be able to take it apart. Yep. With the help of the Vortex there, and Clockwork jumping in. They want to try to end this one quickly. Unicorn trying to man up right now on the Storm Spirit. Can't quite get it. Lycan steps in, trying to clear out house. All supports. There goes Bane. Ends up falling at the end of the Morphling. And here's that Manfire we're talking about. They're going to try to go in, but Morphling is outnumbered. Needs to retreat up to the north. Desperation TP. He should be able to get out and does so, but he is the only one that lives. No racks for Yusa as Empire cleans house.
The only buyback at the moment is that Ancient Apparition. I'm not sure that's going to be enough. Is anyone close? Invoker is fairly close. Beyond that, not really. So we'll see. Are they going to be able to close out the game now? It looks like they are going to go through bottom.
Do it with flair.
Yeah,
I mean, if they make it into the base with creeps, then I think they can do whatever they want, basically. I mean, Lycan can knock down this last lane of racks extremely quickly. And he's picked himself up a heart.
Yeah. I was just questionable on why he was holding on so much gold. I was like toying with the idea of like, why doesn't he get Boots of Travel? He could have made a TP to that top lane and tried to put out the aggression early and allow the rest of his squad to push into the base from all fronts. But nope, heart for himself. He wants the durability, and now they move back and they should be able to easily take this Roshan.
Yeah, I think they were toying with the idea, you know, what if they have buyback and we try to go all in on top and we get wiped, something really bad can happen. So they do take the safer option. They're going to be grabbing themselves the 4th Roshan of the game. Sunstrike going to notice it, but easy Roshan for them.
Has fallen to the dark.
Immortality is mine.
Another cheese for Mr. Mag. You could say it's Gouda.
Yeah, he picks that one up. The egg is going to go on the Storm Spirit. To be frank, Lycan has run out of room. Pretty much the only items left for him are BOTs and an Abyssal Blade. And those will be coming online shortly if this game continues. Or maybe they won't, because the game will just be over.
I think the initiation has just been so great for Empire. You can see when they're making the push on the bottom, Storm Spirit, you know, we've seen all game Resolution committing for these initiations before Batrider has the opportunity to make something happen. So it's just working out so well. You may have Batrider, but man, Clockwork and Storm Spirit getting the fights they want, taking it to them. It's kind of blown up in their face a couple of times, but more often than not, they've been getting the upper hand.
Golden XP starting to fall more towards the favor of Empire, but I mean, at this point, it is not a very consequential amount. I mean, it's about 7,500 gold, but when you look at their total gold earned, that is not too much. So things still even that way, but now with these Raxes down, this is the definition of an uphill battle here for MYM.
Yep, call out the smoke. They're going to make the long run to MYM front door. And they're going to look to end this one, pushing the jugular, if you will. Like in the top lane, he's going to pester his way and draw attention up there, while maybe the rest of the squad flank him from the east. We'll see.
If Invoker can pick up a kill during this fight, he should have money for buyback. Morphling has money for buyback as well. So we'll see if they're able to make this happen, but this could very easily be the last fight, the last stand for MYM. And now Mag, he's going to go for make a case, take down crit, try to get him before that one goes off. Does go off anyway, but Unicorn, BKB up, he's trying to right click through, does pop out. The Dazzle, no Shallow Grave, Epicenter coming through. That's going to get one, but Resolution, he has a BKB, exists now, trying to dart away. Only the AA is fallen, but now exists. Finally, is going to go down to the last. Rack's going to die, and up come the Mega Creeps for Empire. Resolution, Aegis popped. Lycan is still here, still attacking, and now Resolution going to pop that up. Mag is going to move forward, and now they take down another. The Sheep not enough to hold the Mag down, and now Resolution containing them to their Fallon as the Mega Creeps push into the base.
Man, it looked real promising for MYM in the mid game, but they're not going to be able to stop him. Just trying to clear out, but Empire, the job is done. Mega Creeps are there. You cannot stop Lycan and his army from pushing right in. You may get him right now, but it will not matter. Mission accomplished for Empire. Base is cleared out. We got Megas, boys. Let's step out and just watch them crumble. I'm actually surprised they haven't called out GG yet.
I mean, I think with the Morphling, they know that if they do get a 5-man wipe, there's a really small chance that they can still win. I mean, Sand King is decent at dealing with all these creeps. AA is not at all. He has to actually just bring them into the fountain. But they're just going to try to push mid, hope for a miracle, and try to end the game. And if it doesn't work out, well, they're dead already, so they didn't lose anything.
Yep, here we go. I guess we thought the all or nothing was before, but they're making a push down the mid lane. They have to leave a couple back, though, to defend out the base from it getting taken right beneath them. But here we go,
I mean,
boys.
the damage has been done, though. Yeah. It's like the mega creeps are there, and there's basically a way that this is going to work. The Lycan has buyback if something goes insanely wrong. He's picked up the Sacred Relic to finish off that A-Blade, and he is quite fun. If he doesn't have to buy back, he has VOTs. He'll just be able to pop into the base. And now Revolution, oh my god, moves forward. Does pop the Sheep Mag on the back of him. Orchid goes off. Is it going to be enough to keep him down? Blade Mill goes through. KB now Resolution taking damage. Lassoed up. Shallow Ray comes through from Vansport. It's definitely enough to keep him alive for a little bit, but now there's a Fiend's Grip off on Exist. Resolution is going to fall, and they're going to be able to pick off the Bane as well. So they do knock down 2. Are they actually opening an opportunity here?
Radiant's middle tower is under
There's
attack.
way too much base to clear before Lycan gets back into this one, so they can try to divert
Someone
them.
else has to go home. Like, AA cannot defend this. Lycan is up now. He's picked up that A-Blade.
Just
give Boots a travel and end it. No, he wants to fight.
Oh, Mag to Forge. Could this be the last fight for MYM? Bell goes through. Mag does pick off a kill on the Bat Rider. Now Unicorn, he might fall as well. He's trying to morph, but no! The A-Blade going to lock him down, going to get the kill. Exists as well. They call GG. It creeps. Have cleared out as well.
Man, it looked good there. A surprisingly closer, game than we had all thought, and according to the odds, the 82-18. But, man, MYM, they had a win opportunity there, but I think just like when they couldn't get the racks on that bottom lane, Greg, that is just dagger in the heart. That was it. It's like, it just all fell apart. They went for the root in the top lane, and that's when